Hi, I'm Mike Tenney, host of Pop Culture Catechism, and this is Awaken the Word, a reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. For I tell you, unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. You have heard that it was said to those of ancient times, you shall not murder, and whoever murders shall be liable to judgment. But I say to you that if you are angry with a brother or sister, you will be liable to judgment. And if you insult a brother or sister, you will be liable to the council. And if you say, you fool, you will be liable to the hell of fire. So when you are offering your gift at the altar, if you remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go first and be reconciled to your brother or sister, and then come and offer your gift. Come to terms quickly with your accuser while you are on the way to court with him, or your accuser may hand you over to the judge and the judge to the guard, and you will be thrown into prison. And truly I tell you, you will not get out until you have paid the last penny. Today we continue with Jesus' famous Sermon on the Mount, which begins in Matthew 5. And as we've talked about in previous days, one of the major themes of the Sermon on the Mount is Jesus is taking us from a surface level understanding of all these laws from the Hebrew people, especially the Ten Commandments, to a deeper level where we're understanding not just the letter of the law, but the spirit of the law. And this is why he's saying, you must actually be holier than the Pharisees. The Pharisees were all about following the letter of the law. And he's saying you actually have to be holier than them by not only following the law, but going deeper and understanding the reason behind the law. And he gives the example of thou shalt not kill. He's like, most of us haven't killed, but almost all of us have killed in our hearts in some way by being angry or saying, you fool, we've killed with our words. And so Jesus is saying, we got to be holier than just, yes, I checked the box and, I did that commandment, or I didn't do that commandment, or I didn't violate that commandment. You actually have to go deeper. Now, this can be overwhelming. So I love how Jesus follows this up is he says, so if you have done this, if you have done these things, which, spoiler, we all have, he says, leave your gift there before the altar and go be reconciled with your brother and sister. I love that Jesus' response to sin, and he has some real strong words here. He says, you're going to be liable to the fires of hell. But there is reconciliation. So this is not a message of condemnation, but a message of mercy and forgiveness. And this is one of the passages that we often point to, one for the Catholic doctrine for the absolution of sins through the sacrament of reconciliation, but also the doctrine of purgatory. Because before you go to receive the sacrifice of the Mass, you should go to reconciliation, right? And so he says, leave your gift there before the altar and go and be reconciled. But he also says at the end, truly I tell you, you will never get out of there until you paid the last penny. So some people have looked to this as for the doctrine of purgatory. So lots of beautiful things to reflect on in today's passage. I am Mike Tenney, and this has been Awaken the Word.
Thank you for tuning in to Awaken the Word.